Brown's crew no es nada ligero. Nos quieren retar, pero no llegan al peso.
Hey, this is John Ridley. I'm the founder of No Studios. And last year, No Studios directly invested over $100,000 in Wisconsin artists through our Artist Grant Program. We are so pleased to be talking to one of the recipients of our grants, Brown's crew from right here in Milwaukee, El Sabas and Cristo Paz. Gentlemen, how are you doing? Congratulations, not just on the grant, but you two are having kind of a moment right now. In 2019, before the rage of the pandemic, you were selected by Summerfest as one of the emerging artists of the year. Congratulations. You're having a moment. How does it feel?
It feels good, man. It feels good to be back on performing. During that pandemic too, our focus shifted. And so it feels good to start putting out music again, start performing, start connecting with people. And it's a good feeling.
So for the two of you, let's go back to your beginnings. How did the two of you, in terms of being a duo, how did you first meet? Where did you meet? And when did you guys have the idea that ultimately for the two of you, the best way to express what you want to do would be the Latin hip hop duo?
Yeah, well, Chris and I have known each other since middle school. It was during like the high school years that we kind of started connecting and bonding more through music. So once we started kind of connecting through hip hop in particular during high school, you know, listening to new music, discovering new artists and things like that, we started freestyling at the lunch table. And so I mentioned to Chris, like, yo, freestyling, you know, it's fun and it's in the moment and the adrenaline, but like, let's craft something, record it, and let's see where that goes. And so we were able to record our first song in the basement of a cell phone, and not these like a nice cell phone shop. It was kind of like those shops that have a lot of turnover. It was on like 13th and Mitchell, maybe.
It's all prepaid plans, burner.
Yeah, but it was love. But it was love. Yeah, but it was. It's like, but it was really awesome. One of my best friends at the time connected me with the owner. The owner was literally recording us in the basement and then would run up to tend to a customer and then come back down. And very low quality, no mixing, no mastering, no none of that. But it was our first taste of recording something and just kept evolving from there. And
so you started in school. For the people who were most responsible in your life, like when my parents found out that I wanted to get in the entertainment business, they were like, okay, I don't know about this. For the two of you, the people who were around you, the people who were responsible for you, artistry is a little scary. For you, what was your support system like when you made that decision? Hey, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to express.
I think at first my parents were kind of like, oh, we'll see what's up. You know, sure, you know, he's a grown man. He can do whatever he wants to do. And then when they just saw like the love that we'd get at our shows or just being out, and when they will come to our shows and see like, oh, wow, like y'all are really making noise out here and you're actually good, not because you're my child, but you know, your videos are legit and your performances you know, are entertaining and moving. So
I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. She's no longer with us, but I remember like we had a show at Summerfest, we had a show at Mexican Fiesta. We were kind of like, we thought we were doing our thing. And for her, she was like, oh, that's cool, you know, like that's what's up. And we had our first interview on Telemundo. And so when she was watching TV, she saw us on TV. And so after that, then she's like, okay, y'all are all right. Y'all are pretty legit. But
TV has an amazing way of making anybody respectable. You know what I'm saying? It's like when my parents finally saw me on TV doing something, it's like, okay, our son has made it. What is it about Milwaukee? What is it about your experience that you really want to express to people? And what is it that you want your audiences to know? Not just about you, not just about your music, but that hyper-specific, you know, this is our neighborhood, this is where we're from, and this is our experience that you may never have seen. Because, you know, in Milwaukee, crossing the streets, you know, it's like some folks don't want to go east, some folks don't want to go west. What is it that you are trying to express about yourself, about your creativity, about your community, and about your hyper-local community in Milwaukee?
Yeah, like you said, Milwaukee is a very gritty place, you know, almost like in an abusive parent, right? It's like you get beat up and knocked down and things like that, but like you still have like this love for it, right? Growing up, saw a lot of people that looked like me, that spoke like me, speaking Spanish as well. Being able to tell your own narrative through music is very powerful. So for us, you know, we try to tell those stories authentically, whether it be about immigration, whether it be about police brutality, finding joy in a lot of these, you know, painful places or struggles and finding beauty in that. I have a line where it's like the goal is to unite all the hoods, to unite all of the neighborhoods and stuff like that. And my hope is that our community feels a sense of pride that they feel seen and that they feel represented well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to also like connect bridges, to connect with other individuals, other hoods, other communities. So really understand that liberation for all it has to be for everybody. Chris mentioned as well about hip hop being a black genre, keeping that in the back of our mind and realizing that we are a extension of that, right? So honoring the principles of hip hop, right? Like unity, peace, love, understanding, like keeping that at the forefront and at the core of what we do.
Clearly, I mean, I rep Milwaukee so hard, and there's like a lot of people that just are like, man, I hate this city. I want to get out of here. I'm going to move. The grass is always greener. And in our case, it might be greener because it was so cold in the winter. But, like people would say weird stuff like, man, you give me like a Cali vibe. Like you'd be like somebody from like LA, and they're like saying it like a compliment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm from Milwaukee. Like, I want you to understand that like those are not the only places. These big cities are not the only places that create cool people, artists, genuine folks. Kind of held that like I want to be part of the change. I don't want to just, go to a different city and now I claim that city and I forget about here. And like, no, whatever it is, I'm gonna rep Milwaukee hard.
One of the things I think a lot of folks who've never experienced otherization, they don't quite understand that you can feel hurt, you can feel that disrespect, you can feel anger towards a system, but you can still have so much love for your city, for your community, for all the people out there who are doing and building bridges, like you say, and that you're angry. But it's like, no, we almost have a responsibility to witness certain things, to express certain things, and express lived experiences, because there are a lot of folks who are not going to go east side to west side to east side, north or south. And you all as artists have that opportunity to bridge and have that opportunity to build. Song of the Year, 88.9 for the song Mil Ares.
Yeah.
The music, congratulations on that song.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it.
That song came about because we were doing a lot of shows at the beginning of 2019, and we were like, yo, we need to put something out. And I came across a group called Agrupación Ilegal, Los Imparciales. They just go by Los Imparciales. And they're from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Reached out to them to see if they'd be interested in collaborating, sent them some of our music, some of my ideas, some of the things that we had talked about in terms of creating a cumbia-infused song. And so they were open to it. It's kind of dope because Milwaukee is high up in the United States, geographically, North America, right? But Argentina itself is at the tip of South America. So to be able to connect through music, connect through cumbia across the Americas that way was just really, really cool when I reflected on it. The music video was shot by Bianca Fuster of Lion Art Media. It came out beautifully, and it got some pretty good noise, good recognition, and kind of solidified our place in the city.
Con corazón de oro, pero persiguiendo plata. 100 mexicanos dijeron que el Browns crew no es nada ligero.
The other song, and this is one, I'm telling you, from the bottom of my heart, I love this song. But 100 Mexicanos, if you are watching this, you got to go see it. You got to go look it up. You got to find it. I love the song because it is cool, it is chill, but it has the right amount of swagger.
Yeah.
And I love that the video, it just felt so Milwaukee and so beautiful. And with that song and that video, I was like, okay, I get these two guys. They are cool, they're smart, they have so much pride in Milwaukee and their culture and where they're from. Congratulations on that. But talk about the song.
Shout out Grant Forrest, the producer on the beat. Gonzalez Visuals hooked us up with the video. And I was like, well, no matter what, we got to have 100 Mexicans in this video. Like, no matter what. That weekend, we were playing Mexican Fiesta. And I told Sebas, I was like, we got to shoot this video. Like, we absolutely have to shoot it. Like, Mexican Fiesta is a kind of a staple in, if you're a young Mexican or even just Latino in general growing up in Milwaukee, that's like your last thing before you go to back to school. It's the end of the summer. So to be able to capture the essence of that and show the wide range of our people as well, because that's the other thing is like within these 100 people, we're going to show you a huge range. It's not a monolith. We're not stereotypes. Like it's all kinds of different people in here. That's love. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that it was beautiful too. it is kind of like a love letter or like a poem to our community. And the beginning of the song opens up with the sounds of different vendors. It's Chris and I, but it's, a lady selling,
doing everything.
a lady selling tamales, the paletero, somebody selling, at the vendors market and stuff like that. So it's an ode to our community as well, and just hustlers of the world, like people making ends meet, doing what they got to do to make things work. And so it's just our hats off to our community and the greater community in general.
But to me, it's one of those expressions of art that you can tell is coming from a true place, and you can still reach the world, but you're doing it from a place of love, community love, personal love, cultural love, but love of Milwaukee. To both of you, El, Cristo, thank you very much. Before we go, tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can find you, and how they can support the amazing work that you're doing, because you really are Milwaukee proud.
Appreciate it. I'm El Sebas.
Cristo Paz.
We are the Browns Crew. You can find us on any social media platform at Browns, BROWNS _crew, CREW, as well as any streaming platform that you enjoy, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, whatever. And if it's not on there, hit us up on the gram and we'll get you the music directly.
And I'll try to make a TikTok one day.
Digo,